Sell all your Bitcoin right now. Gone, it's down. Do it. No? Yeah, me neither. Let's talk about why. When you panic, you make worse decisions than when you're calm. If you can keep your calm, you have got access to better decisions. And whenever there's a crisis, like when a plane is going down or a ship is sinking, the first thing they say is, don't panic. And notice it doesn't mean do nothing. It means don't panic. Because when you panic, you lose your rational mind. You lose the ability to make good decisions. So how do I not panic when I'm already panicking, you may ask? Well, you cannot. What you can do is remember, you're panicking and don't make any decisions. Wait until you're calm before making further decisions. Bitcoin becomes real, it becomes physical when it affects you mentally and physically. So the price is down and the voice in the head says, sell. And maybe selling is even the right call, I don't know. But you can't know that while you're panicking, because the panicking version of you doesn't have the good decision available. He's got one decision, sell, now. Have you ever heard anybody say, I didn't sell because I panicked yesterday? You are in deeper trouble if your Bitcoin is sitting on an exchange. Because on an exchange, that panic has somewhere to go. It's only a single tap. There's no gap between the feeling and the action. And this is one of the reasons why self-custody matters. When your Bitcoin is in your own custody, there is friction. You've got to get the device, do a couple steps, and those few steps are the gap. That's the space where the panic burns off and the calm comes back. So self-custody doesn't just protect your Bitcoin from other people, it protects it from you too. So before we even get to should you sell, where you keep it is what decides whether your panic has a say. There's a worse version of all this, it's leverage. If you borrow to buy more than you actually got, because then you don't even get the one tap. You don't get to decide anything at all. When it drops far enough, the position closes itself. You get liquidated. The market sells you out automatically at the worst possible moment. So think about what that does to your conviction. The whole idea was to hold. And leverage is the one thing that can rip the decision out of your hands right when it matters most. I don't have a leveraged position. And what would I even buy with it? A bit more upside? What am I putting up for that? My peace of mind. Whether I can sleep when the price is falling. That's a bad deal if you ask me. All right, let's say I'm calm. I've got the better decision available now. Should I sell? And if I sell, what do I buy? Because you've got to buy something. Selling isn't a thing on its own. You sell your Bitcoin and now you're holding what? Cash? Holding cash is a slow, guaranteed loss. They print more of it every year. So no, not cash. AI? That's what's competing for money right now. Everybody's pouring money into AI, and maybe 2 years ago, okay, but not now. Gold? Okay, gold's better than the rest, I'll give you that. But there's a problem, and it's the rule of 72. You take 72 divided by the growth rate, and that's how many years it takes to double. Gold supply grows around 2% a year. 72 divided by 2 is 36. So the gold in the world doubles every 36 years. Twice in your lifetime. And that's just the supply. You can't even be sure the gold in your hand is real, not without a lab, so you're not trusting somebody either way. Real estate, well, we keep building. Why would we ever stop building? There's no reason to stop, so the supply just keeps climbing. And you can't take any of it with you. Gold is too heavy for the airport, and a house doesn't move at all. So I go down the whole list and there's nothing there. The only thing that actually gets me to sell it is something that's genuinely better than Bitcoin. And right now, that thing doesn't exist. The other coins aren't claiming to be money. Bitcoin is the only one whose whole job is to be the money. Let's go with the worst case. Bitcoin goes to zero. For Bitcoin to actually hit zero, think about what has to happen. Every single person has to sell. Because if even one person won't sell, let's say me, then it doesn't go to zero. It goes to some number, but not zero. So the worst case isn't really zero. The question becomes, why is it dropping? And there's only a few answers to that question. Either the technology failed, blocks stopped being mined, there's a bug in the code, or something actually broke. Or something better showed up. Or people just lost their conviction. If it's a bug or it's a better technology, then yes, I sell and I go buy the better thing. But if it's just people losing their nerve with nothing actually broken underneath, that's not a Bitcoin problem. Bitcoin's shaky right now, and it's not simply because of people's mood. One thing is AI. Money that might have gone into Bitcoin is now going into AI instead. The other one is more technical, and it actually unsettles Bitcoiners themselves. So Bitcoin runs on rules. Every node on the network checks the same rules. The software most nodes run is called Bitcoin Core. Last year, a change went into Core that let people stuff arbitrary data onto the blockchain. Data like images and maybe even small videos. And a lot of people said, Bitcoin is money. We should not store pictures on it. So a chunk of the network, about a fifth of it now, switched to a different software called Bitcoin Notes that keeps the data off the blockchain. And there's a proposal that might land around August to roll the change back. So you've got the fight about direction. And it scares people because the whole pitch of Bitcoin is that it's hard to change. And here's two groups changing things back and forth. So how hard to change is it really, right? And let's also mention that there are only a handful of people who can approve those changes. The disagreement is about whether people should be able to stuff images onto the blockchain or not. But it's a disagreement about node policy, not about the money. We're not changing the 21 million limit or any consensus rule. This change doesn't change what Bitcoin really is. One more thing, and I think this one matters more than Bitcoin. Don't build your identity on top of it. Don't make Bitcoin who you are. Because when you do that, Bitcoin getting hurt starts to feel like you are getting hurt. Those are two separate things. Bitcoin is an idea, a concept, a thing out there in the world, and you are you. Bitcoin is outside your control. It might fail. I keep saying that. So if your sense of self is wired into it and it fails, you go down with it. It's like somebody builds their whole self around a belief, and then someone questions the belief, and right away, it's war. How dare you? Because it's not the idea getting challenged anymore. It's them. They can't tell the difference between themselves and the thing they believe in. So hold on to Bitcoin. Believe in it even. I do. Just don't become it. You're separate from it. And that separation is what lets you look at a dwindling price and stay calm. Because it's not you on the screen. It's the price of something that you own. So am I selling? No. And it's not because I think I can't lose. I might. It might go to zero. I keep that on the table. I'm not selling because there's nowhere better to put it. And because I was never only in it for the price. I think this thing fixes an important problem. Separating money from the state. The money printing. The bailouts where they rescue one company and everybody holding the currency pays for it. The price is downstream of that. You can't tell anybody what to do with their money. People always do what they think is right for them, and they should. So I'm not telling you to hold, and I'm not telling you to sell. I'm telling you why I'm not selling and how I think about it. If you need to remember only one thing from this video, it's this. Don't make the call while you're panicking, and give yourself the friction so you cannot. Get it off the exchange into your own self-custody so that when you decide to do something, you're calm doing so. I'm Pete Sparrow. I offer one-on-one guidance on self-custody setup. See you in the next video.